Bit of a disappointing case study for you today, in that in the world of YouTube SEO influencers, we're always trying to outdo each other with the latest shiny object, the newest hack, and coming up with some sort of shortcut to rankings. At the moment, I literally can't keep up with the new content tools coming out, where you can produce hundreds of pages, you can create tools and calculators. So much stuff can be automated, but I think the problem a lot of us have isn't really about that kind of execution. It's much more about targeting. Content is only one piece of the puzzle. And what we've really noticed over the last year is that Google is really quite aggressively going after this kind of thin content. So today I really want to go deeper into a lot of my projects at the moment, which are very small websites. They're actually ranking really well without even doing that much work. So in this particular example, we have a DR of 0, so hardly any backlinks. We've only got 15 backlinks, and that's just come from a press release. It's only actually ranking for 13 keywords, but we know it's ranking high up for those keywords because we're getting a decent amount of traffic from that. And what's more is we know that's transactional traffic that's actually going to buy something, because we've actually got $500 of traffic value per month here. So I'm not saying this is a perfect business by any means, but what I am saying is that you really need to be disciplined with SEO, in that what are you actually trying to achieve? You want to start with the end in mind. Yes, it used to be that you could just spew out content and get traffic that way, and then hopefully get people into a funnel and then sell to them. But these days, what I'm really observing is the more aligned you can be with the search intent, and therefore Google's whole purpose, the better. This is literally what I was saying a year ago at the Chiang Mai SEO conference, when Jaume Ross asked me what my 2024 SEO strategy would be. And I have to say, my 2025 SEO strategy remains much the same. I explained how I was buying up exact match domains, targeting transactional keywords, putting a basic page of optimized content on them, building some foundation links, and then leaving them for 6 months to see how they performed. And now in this Ahrefs batch analysis, I can go through and see the keywords ranking, the traffic. Although these tend to look very small, they are quite high ticket. And every now and then we identify a winner. So only ranking for 5 keywords, but we're getting 29 traffic a month. And remember, this is with basically 0 spend at this stage. So what we really look for here is not finished websites, but just validation that we've hit upon a niche where the competition is low, and therefore if we're able to rank for it with no effort, then if we increase that effort, increase that spend, then we should be onto something. That's exactly how I built this finance lead generation website. So it wasn't doing a lot for a long time, and then suddenly in the summer took off. We were therefore approved as a vendor, and from our initial testing period, I made a commission of around $5,000, as I've spoken about before on my channel. And so with that, we can reinvest in link building. So we ranked really well for a while, we've dropped off a little bit, so now we're taking some of that revenue, now that it's income generating, and ploughing that into getting back up to number 1. And with this site, it's the same story. We haven't spent anything. And yet if I click on these keywords, you'll see that it's ranking really well. So here we are, position 3 for a keyword that gets searched 1,100 times a month. Keyword difficulty is supposedly of 43, and a CPC value of 283. So that tells us it is a transactional keyword, because other competitors in the market are bidding on Google Ads, and they're willing to pay around $3 per click for that traffic. And then we have other variations on that keyword, which we are also ranking for organically. So it's still very early stage, but nothing spent so far. Now you're probably desperate to know what this site actually looks like, and it's just like this. This is one of the duds, so I don't mind sharing this one publicly. This one's not going so well. So again, DR0, just a few foundational links, and it's getting some traffic, but it's not really exciting me. And you can see we're using the Cadence WordPress theme, so it's very fast, very lightweight, so it's easy to get indexed. And then we just have a long form page of text that we wrote using Surfer, and that includes FAQs at the bottom. Now, if you run a page like this, you don't want to leave it like this, because then a Google search quality rater is going to come along, have a look at this website and say, this is not a real business. And that's when you get tanked, normally about a year after the site has started. So as soon as you get that uptick, as soon as you start to see you're ranking for keywords and you're starting to improve, that's then where we then work on design and supporting content. So we want other articles on the site. We don't need hundreds or thousands, but I recommend 10 to 20 supporting pages is generally good. That's what most bricks and mortar businesses do. And then of course working on high quality backlinks that really propel you to a top. Because so far all of these are ranking by accident. They're ranking low down for just a few keywords, but because they do that, we've seen that Google kind of likes them. If they're ranking like that with nothing, then we know if we build a proper link building campaign for them and build a consistent volume of outreach links every month, then that traffic is sure to take off. That's what we've seen consistently with my clients. Take a look at this course creator. We built a large number of links originally before a lot of the content was starting to rank. So for a while we were building a consistent volume of links each month, and yet the traffic wasn't increasing above 2,000 searches a month. But over time, as we increased the links, as the content started to age and mature, then we can see that as the referring domains went up, so did the traffic. Until just recently they've hit a peak of 80,000 visitors per month. Now of course referring domains is quite broad, there's loads of metrics and quality checks that mean the difference between going onto Fiverr and buying some links and using an outreach service. But broadly speaking, I like to start with a minimum DR of 30, so that's how powerful the website giving you that link is, and we want it to be getting 1,000 visitors a month, because that's a clear sign that Google respects and trusts that website, especially since the September 2023 helpful content update and the March 2024 update. Those two updates have eliminated a huge number of content websites. So if you can get links today from sites that are still getting more than 1,000 traffic per month, then those are still really quite strong sites. Now just recently Ahrefs has actually built a lot of these metrics into its best links filter. So that's minimum DR of 30, minimum domain traffic of 1,000. They need to be do follow links and in content, so actual editorial mentions. And what this allows us to do is take a website like this client I mentioned and see of their overall link profile, how many of those backlinks have come from these high quality backlinks. So we've currently got 600 groups of links. It's important to use the one link per domain filter, because some websites will just link to you all over the place and you end up with 100 backlinks from just one website. So currently we've got 600, and if we filter this down to best links only, then we'll find out how many outreach quality links this client actually has, and we can see 83 links. So of all those backlinks on the site, it's around 12% of them are these high quality backlinks we've built. So you don't actually need that many to get massive progress like this client who's now up to 80,000. Another example here with an e-com site. And again, we can see consistently building links every month and then the traffic rapidly increasing as a result. So averaging around 20,000 visitors per month for the last couple of months. Of course, it's not just the backlinks. I always say you can't rely just on backlinks. You need to make sure your site is fixed as well. So in the case of e-commerce, we did a lot of work on improving these category pages especially, but it really does all start with this. Make sure you're targeting the right keyword that's actually transactional, because that's far more valuable than chasing all these hundreds of irrelevant keywords. Ideally, use an exact match domain to target it, or a keyword rich domain if possible. Put a long form article of SEO optimized text on the homepage, preferably using a correlational tool like Surfer that looks at the top competitors for that keyword and works out the kind of pages that Google is really rewarding for that keyword, and therefore the length, the headings, the semantics. And then you need Google to actually discover that site and make sure it gives it some attention. So doing a simple press release can help with that. You can also use citations, just listings in local business directories. And none of this needs to cost more than $100 or so. And then if after a few months you find you start ranking for keywords and some traffic with some value, all of this without even spending more than $100, then you know you can go hard on that site and really start to scale it. So write your supporting content, design the homepage properly, and conduct an outreach campaign to build high quality backlinks into that page. And that's what's really going to propel you up to the top.